So right after I went to bed, I noticed this one game that where it was little pretty basic. And yes, I was still on the Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, and stuff like that. Until I saw this one game. It was Sonic R. It was a racing game. And after I heard about that, I seen a lot of people that be doing challenges to see if they could summon the Tails doll, which you can see in the image right now. That's what he looks like. It's Tails, but it's a doll because you can tell that it has stitches on it. It even has a red gem on its head. So I heard that like if you play the game, playing as Tails doll on Resort Island, in tag mode, tag all 4 characters, and after you, how do you say this? And after you hit the Supersonic for last, this will give the Tails doll enough power to escape into the real world. And after that, if you go to the bathroom, playing the music called "Can You Feel the Sunshine," but playing it backwards, and you can't and won't be able to stop it until it ends, which is like a 4-minute song. And while you're playing it, you should see a glowing red little object from the Tails doll, which is its gem. If you're unlucky, the Tails doll will force you into the deal. And you can't accept it because if you, or not, I was about to say, decline, my bad. So yeah, you can't decline it because if you do, he will kill you. It was pretty little terrifying when I heard about him. So I didn't really pay attention to him all this time until I decided to play the game on the PC, on my aunt's PC, Sonic R. I did all the rules to see if it was working out because I didn't really believe it. And after that, nothing really happened. And I was like, eh. So I just went to bed, turned off all the lights, turned on my aquarium light, and just look at the light until I fall asleep. But then, like around 3 a.m., I heard loud noises that was coming from the kitchen. Like chairs falling, cabinets violently opening, one of the dishes just fall off the floor and hitting the ground, shattering. So when I went out, had my flashlight, and I saw a doll. A Tails doll. Which was kind of a plushie that looked like Sonic.exe's plushie. So I panicked, so I went to get my baseball bat, swinging around at him, but since I knew that he can do it, he can break a wood one, I had a metal one, so there ain't no way he can break that now. Until he catch one, he tried to snatch it and hit me in the head with it, but I didn't like that slide, so I kicked him, and I just hit him with the baseball bat. He was still alive, and it was really no use. So I put the baseball bat on my back, went to the room where there was a full collection of ancient weapon, grabbed a sword off the shelf, turned around and saw the Tails doll standing there. So I swung the sword as hard as I could at the Tails doll. But the Tails doll managed to dodge, and he kind of scratched me with its claws, but it wasn't a deep cut, stuff like that. I just had a scratch, and I started to bleed from it. And no, I knew that, and yeah, I could already tell that I ain't gonna have a scar as well because if I was gonna have a scar from the scratch, he would have cut it deep. Like deep. Like it would have been painful. I would have had to get stitches, going to the hospital for that. So yeah, right after he did that, I screamed in pain. Well, I don't really scream in pain. I screamed in pain for like 1 second. And then when I looked at him, I quickly grabbed him, strangled the Tails doll so I could prevent it from trying to kill me. And then it was dead. And after it was dead, I went outside and I threw the doll from my house in the backyard, threw all the way to the alleyway, making sure that it doesn't come. And after I shut the door, I turned around and I saw it just appeared out of nowhere. So it tried to strangle me like I strangle the doll. I quickly saw my switchblade that I've been carrying around like this whole time. I quickly grabbed it and I just stabbed the doll with it. So yeah, after I did that, the cottons was like kind of falling from the doll. I was kind of bleeding a little bit. I was kind of bleeding from the scratch he made on my face. So right after I did that, this time I went to a place where it destroys cars, which is a junkyard. I went to the shredder and I threw the doll in the shredder and it was completely shredded. It was completely destroyed. And I just stood there with Victorious in my mind. So yeah, it is kind of funny that where you think it's not really real, but it could be either real or not. I mean, like, a lot of people talked about this. And make sure that even if it tries to happen again, I ain't gonna let that slide. No. Like, it didn't even give me a chance for me when it scratched me. So right after that day, I was also afraid to go to sleep tonight. I mean, yeah, I do still manage to wake up around 7 a.m. to start my day, and then go to sleep at 10 p.m. for school tomorrow. It could be a little bit terrifying, but hopefully it will be okay.